Power to Change is about learning by sharing knowledge and experiences within our communities and our education settings. A key part of the Climate Education Clubs is listening to community groups, addressing challenges identified together and designing solutions together. We met with Birdwatch Sligo to learn about the importance of the Garavogue to biodiversity within Sligo town. They shared some recommendations for projects that may help to protect the Garavogue for future generations.
My name's Michael Bell and I'm the chair of the Sligo branch of Birdwatch Ireland, and I'm also the secretary of the Sligo Public Participation Network. We're out here on the Garavogue River today. It's one of my favourite spots in Sligo to come to look at birds and nature in general. And we're going to talk a little bit about the wildlife along the river and maybe what we can do to help look after it too. You know, it's fantastic to have the river running right through the heart of town. Of course, at one end you've got Sligo Bay, and so it brings seabirds right up into the harbour, up to Quay Street. And it's more than just birds too. You know, several times I've seen otters right in the heart of Sligo town. You know, look, the shoppers don't even notice them. You know, they'll just be walking by and you'll see the otter popping up and down. I've seen seals. Sometimes I guess they follow the salmon up the river, go up to as far as Loch Gill. The odd time I'll see the kingfisher, even right in the heart of Sligo. You just catch a little flash of blue as it flies low over the water. The national organisation, Birdwatch Ireland, who are the top conservation organisation in the country. Our branch would be totally volunteers that run it. We have a small committee. We're very, very active, one of the most active branches in the country. We would have outings, especially in the winter months, usually once a month or so. We also do bird counts during the winter months of the birds that would be in the bay, and people can get involved in that, especially if, you know, it's really contributing to our knowledge of the bird life and how it's changing around the bay. And we also do a lot of talks as well too. The thing I've noticed over the years that really grates me is the amount of litter that ends up in the river, and that seems to be a growing problem, and especially plastic cups. You know, I think it's just you know, no excuse in this day and age. We know how harmful plastics are in the marine environment. You know, just those cups go into the Garavogue, end up in the sea, really bad for marine life. It breaks down into little pieces. Lots of our seabirds now, when they find them, if they find them dead, washed up on beaches, very often they'll find plastic in their stomach. So it's a real big concern to me. Probably my number one concern is to stop the plastic pollution that's going into the river. Another problem we have a little bit, especially at the popular areas, is people feeding birds, which is fine, but when lots of people in the one area, if they're all throwing out loaves of white bread, it can be pretty bad for the health of the birds, especially the swans and the ducks both. One thing is people should never feed mouldy food or mouldy bread, especially to birds. It's lethal to them. A lot of people see a bit of mould in the bread and think, oh, I'll throw it out to the birds, but actually that can be lethal to the birds. So if you do feed bread, brown bread's a bit better than white bread, but there's alternatives. You can feed peas, lettuce, chopped up spinach, you know, corn, things like that. That's something we could look at, you know, trying to educate people about that. You know, we're so lucky to have this as part of Sligo town, and you know, just don't take it for granted, you know, and make sure that we protect it, you know, for future generations, and it can inspire them, you know, too, and just make sure to look after it going into the future. You know, I do a lot of education in schools, and I think that's where we really need to concentrate on. And the little kids get it, you know, you don't have to come up with fantastic studies for them. They understand that, you know, we need to look after nature and protect it too. So